So how's everybody doing this morning? If you guys want me to look at any pairs, let me know now, because what I'm gonna do is I really don't feel like hopping around today. I'm just gonna stick to my pair. If you guys want me to go through any other pairs other than NASDAQ, let me know now. So I'll go through those levels now. You guys will at least have those levels. And if you want to trade them on your own, help yourself. Let me know in the chat. And if you guys are watching this on YouTube, welcome to the live stream. I'm just going to post this up on Instagram real quick. Alrighty. Just had to post this up on Instagram, let folks know that we're streaming. Let them get on this YouTube link. Somebody said, I thought you weren't going live today. It's a bit late updating us, don't you think? Brother, this is a free stream on YouTube. There's a very important phrase folks got to learn, which is beggars can't be choosers. If you're taking advantage of free services, that's awesome, but you also don't get to demand anything. Just a heads up. Let's go ahead and clear up that relationship real quick. Folks said, I let them know too late about the free stream. We catching 700 pips consistently every single week for free. Get out a notebook, get out a pen, take notes. That's your only job, for real, for real. And you know what? That got me fired up, people. That got me fired up. I said I wasn't going to take a trade. I'm going to take a trade today. I'm going to show you guys another 800 pips today. We'll take the fucking trade. We're going to make some money. And I think folks are going to get an idea. If this is your first time on this stream, welcome. I'm actually not that in a bad mood. This is just how I talk. This is my energy. But for real, what we try to do on these live streams, or what I personally try to do on these live streams, is I give you guys an insight on my strategy. I like to take a live trade, but I usually don't do that towards the end of the stream. I usually don't do that until towards the end of the stream, because that's when my moves are. The pair that I specifically trade is NASDAQ 100, which is an index of the top 100 tech companies in the United States. I do go through other pairs because I can, if it's got a pulse, I can trade it. I just choose to focus on something that I know will consistently make me money, because me and NASDAQ have a relationship. Is that relationship always positive? No. All right. I lost something like 8 grand yesterday trading NASDAQ. So we don't always have the best relationship, but we make up, we make friends. That's a quick insight on these streams. And even if we don't take a trade, you guys will still walk away with some value. I'm going to give you guys some insight in terms of fundamentals. I'm going to give you guys insight on the macroeconomic landscape. I'm going to give you guys insight on NFTs and some of the crypto developments that's happening. And I'll teach you guys about market structure. So even if I don't see a trade, even if I don't get a retest that I'm specifically looking for, and there's no trade opportunity, at least we can all walk away with some value, and you can go use this on your own pairs. He said, they're really complaining. He said, people's left earlier. He said, Roy talked that shit. Guys, I respect myself now. You know what I'm saying? I had this time where I was a little bit too humble, and I really had to take a step back and remind myself that it took a lot of time to get to the point where I can trade the way I do. It takes a lot of time to get to the point where you actually do have the power to make money and not have to work for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks or months. And so, you know what I'm saying? I ain't worried about the shit talk. I ain't worried about none of that. When you know what you can do, when you know what you can provide and what you bring to the table, nobody can take that away from you. So if there's a better NAS trader out there somewhere, I'd love to go, head to head. We do a competition, but I really, really think that I'm one of the best NAS traders in the world. And I'm just working consistently to make sure the numbers catch up so that the numbers prove it, right? Because in my mind, yes, I'm the best trader. Once the numbers catch up, that's going to be the scoreboard to really show folks how we do this. But let me know what pairs you guys are looking at. Let me cover those before I go through NASDAQ, and then we can just get to the meat and potatoes. He said, amazing value on these sessions. Trade or no trade, it's always fire. And I appreciate you for that, brother. He said, can you elaborate on how the market is reacting to CPI news? Yeah, for sure. So the inflation news today came out positive, or not positive. It came out higher than expected. So it means that the level of inflation that consumers are experiencing, so at the grocery store, grabbing basic essentials, diapers, goods, food, and all the other consumer goods, there's been a 0.6% price increase since the last time that this measurement was dropped, which is last month. So on a month-by-month basis, inflation is up almost 0.6%, which is really high. The forecast was for 0.4%, and it came out a little bit higher than expected. This entire year of 2022 is all about inflation, which is what this is measuring, and then the interest rates, which are being raised as a response to fighting the inflation. So if prices go up too fast because there's too much cash in the economy, they're going to have to bring that cash back in, take the cash out of the economy. It's going to dry up, and that's going to make prices go down. At least that's what they think. Prices don't go back down, people. Let me just let you guys know. If you guys used to pay anywhere, this is for guys, because women pay a whole different price for the hair. But men, if you guys used to pay anywhere between $16 to $24 for a haircut, I guarantee that you're walking out paying 35 to 42 right now. Right after you tip your barber, the price is almost like 40 to 80% more. That's inflation. If you guys go grocery shopping and you see the price of all these different groceries compared to 6 to 12 months ago, you'll see the price increases. So there's a lot of things that are causing this inflation. They printed too much money. We're in a supply chain crisis. There's a labor shortage, et cetera, et cetera. And so inflation is a huge topic for central bankers around the world. This came out higher than expected, and so the market is bleeding and selling off as a response. Now, to be honest, I don't think that the market is selling off because of the news. I think that they knew about the news earlier. They're using the news. Market makers use the news to hide the market manipulation. They use the news to hide the big moves that they're trying to make, because then everybody's just going to blame it on volatility, right? The regulators can come to the market makers and say, hey, how did you guys move the market so big earlier? You're not supposed to do that. They were like, oh, we didn't mean to. There was a bunch of news and it messed up our trades. That's literally how things go. So fundamentals and any high impact news event gives market makers an excuse to create high volatility in the markets. And that's exactly what we're seeing now. Nobody who trades institutionally is surprised by this number, or they shouldn't be, right? This entire year, the entire world is looking at America's inflation. It's the number one topic on every financial network, on every central banker's, front page. And so there really is no reason that the market is selling off due to panic or anything like that. They're using this opportunity to make the move happen that they've wanted to make happen this whole week. I've been explaining to the CA members that when the market does this, okay, do you guys see this choppy movement that went down kind of like a channel? This is called accumulation. What the market is really doing is accumulating retail orders by convincing the market that it's bullish, it's bearish, it's bullish, it's bearish. And a lot of consolidations do this. Then what you can see is all the money that they made from trapping the market here, they used to artificially push the market higher. And I say artificially push the market higher because you can see how slow this growth is versus something that's a little bit more consistent like this. So these slow, choppy moves are indicating that the market is being controlled up to a certain place. Then we get up to a high impact zone, which I go up to the daily. You'll see this massive sell zone here and this sell level right here at the 15,000 psychological zone. So the market will build up to a specific level where the market makers have a sell limit, And then at that sell limit, this is where we'll start to see the market push off. So we have a triple top right here. And then we had a sell-off. Now, I did take this trade. I'm going to just be completely truthful with you guys about my account just because, you know, can't really hide from it. It's just what's happening right now. I did try to go long here, and I got burned. I did have a short up here as well, and then I had a long position here. So I was taking a little bit too many trades within this sequence. Now, I'll tell you guys good things I did and bad things I did. This trade, I should have closed in profit when I was in the longs, and I should have taken the profit instead of holding it and trying to hedge. So by hedging, I entered a short and I had a buy, and I just held the short and the long. The long hit stop loss. The short I'm still holding now in profit. I also had a buy limit at 14,825. I closed half of it, but I didn't move my stop loss to break even. So I did close partial profits, and I made something like $620 on that one, but then I lost $850 on the stop loss when the rest of the move finished. So entering that buy limit in an aggressive market like this, if it does hit a high reaction zone, we're going to be closing all in blues or putting the stop loss in break even. So there's some lessons here from this morning's trading and from last night. Just want to share those with you guys, take some value away. When's the podcast with Jessica dropping? It's going to be dropping this Sunday. How would they take the money? It's by convincing you to keep trading the market and then by trapping you on the other side of their trade. So what happens is they'll start to push the market higher, and then all of a sudden retail traders start buying the breakout because retail traders I don't say retail trade, we're all retail traders. New retail traders will look to trade the momentum at the top of the range, and they'll start buying up here. And then what happens is all the institutions that bought down here, they start to exit their trades at the highs, and then you get caught in the trap. When you lose money on a trade, someone else is making money. This is what I mean by the market makers will entice retail traders to lose money so that they can be on the other side of those trades. So to me, this is pretty straightforward. The market's about to open in 1 minute, and I love doing these streams a little bit later because the markets don't really give me a solid move until after the market open. This is pretty rare, I'll be honest, a pre-market move this aggressive. It usually happens after the market starts pushing. So what I'd like to see now is a retracement back up to 14,825. I'd like to see a wick violate it, go up a little bit higher, and then close back under and retest for a short. If the market doesn't give us any retest and just breaks through the support, then we'll do the same thing. Okay, it'll drop. We'll wait for a retracement, wait for a push up, break under, catch the retest for the drop. I'm not an impulsive trader. I don't take aggressive entries. That's a lie. I'll take aggressive entries sometimes. But if I'm looking for a high probability setup, like if you were to tell me, Roy, gun to your head, which trade are you going to take today to make money? Then I'm only going to take the trades that have the highest probability. Okay, so some of you guys are thinking, wait, you got a choice of which trades are high probability and which ones? I thought I just took a trade and see what happens. No, the good traders know, right? Experienced traders and good traders, some of you guys are on this call, you know the difference between a high probability setup and a low probability setup. And you know when you're forcing the confirmations or when there's legitimately 4 to 5 confirmations present. That's really what I'm trying to say in terms of like if you're taking high probability trades all the time, you'll have a big win rate and you'll start to expect your wins. When you don't know the difference, you'll treat every trade the same, and low probability trades you'll start to get frustrated with because they might have had like daily support and a Fibonacci. They might have had some of those characteristics to make it a trade, but they didn't have 4 or 5 confirmations that really make the trade a high probability setup. So I'm redrawing my zones just for the purpose of cleaning it up for this stream. I don't want this thing to be too messy. Oh, that's good. So 14,600 is a good downside target. If we break this previous resistance, it's pretty clear. So when I draw my zones, I'm not going to give too much, but ChartAddicts members, you guys know this. I do this wick body sort of deal. So I have two zones, right? My higher zone and my lower zone. Same thing down here. So if we look left, the 14,836 level, massive resistance, big resistance, big resistance, resistance right here. Looking for the market to come back and test that resistance. Are we at a floor? Yep, we're still at a floor, 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 and floor. So really it's about how the market interacts in between these two zones. The black line is a big selling zone in the market, and the yellow zone is a good buying level in the market. But what we see is when the market breaks below the black line and then comes up to retest it, it's a good shorting opportunity. Right? If the market breaks above the line and retests it as a long, so if we break above the line and retest it for longs, that's a pretty good long opportunity. So because of just the historical data that we have, I'm expecting a retest 14,870 and then a potential drop. Can't forget my handy dandy fibs. And now I have all the zones I need. Oh, this rejection is crazy. So after the market opens, after all the zones are drawn, I just basically start to read candlesticks. You guys know it's just about as simple as it gets. And I'm just looking to see if structure gets broken and if the previous candlestick structure gets violated. So the previous candlestick high, do we engulf it? If we engulf the previous candlestick high, are we going to retest that high? And so I start to see how the candlesticks are stacking on top of each other. And then I use those indications to see if I should take a trade or not. This is a hell of a rejection.
Yeah, I have a 1% on gold at 1830.
At 1830?
Yeah, but do you think? Do you think?
Give me
Don't mean to.
one quick sec. So the trade looks like this. I just don't think it's ready. For some reason, I feel like it wants to push up to the zone and then this higher level here. What I might do is scale into this position. Damn. This is starting to look bullish. Stefano, does this look bullish to you?
It looks like it. You are below the daily zone though, so it's kind of weird.
The
See,
15K is resistance and support. So I
see,
guess like ideally I would have to see how the daily candle closes, because if it closes below
yeah,
resistance, then it's a short, but if it closes above support, it's a long. So it's really about how the day closes.
yep, I think so. It's
Sheesh, it's kind of looking bullish.
Can you flip that previous move from like a flip short from top? No, yeah, but the that impulsive move, yeah, that one right there. Still flip short.
Oh yeah, so this is where I took the shorts yesterday. Here, let me send you a screenshot of my entry.
Let's
Oh my
see.
bad.
I'm sorry. Hey, let me put this down. Yes, sir. Yeah, that's a good entry, bro. I think you can hold that entry, bro. That
Yep.
really, yeah, that's a nice entry.
I was
Yep.
thinking 14,580.
Maybe it looks like he wants to retest at 61.8 right there. So
Mm-hmm.
see, and then drop. No,
No,
it's
that 61 retest looks like the best trade.
yeah,
I got it. Around 14,900 psych. Sheesh. What happened this morning?
that's crazy. It's fucking great. Like you said, they use these news events to manipulate price to where they want to go, like anywhere, like up, down, up, down. It's crazy.
Yep. And it doesn't really matter which, like if you're right or wrong,
Hmm.
because all they have to do is look at the back end and see where all the open orders are. If they
Hmm.
know that all the open positions are sitting right here and sitting above the previous daily highs, they're going to spike and they're going to spike below. And really, it's not even just to hit our stop loss. What they're really doing is they're activating the institution's buy limit, or sorry, the buy stops and the sell stops.
It's
Does that
crazy.
make sense? So they basically, if you take the daily range from yesterday, here's the high, here's the low, they'll break a certain percentage above and a certain percentage below just to activate the buys and sells, and then whip the other way to hit their stop loss. It is insane when you figure out the business model. So are you going short or long?
I went short, small 1%, but I'm in drawdown on at 1830. If it keeps going up, well, I'll just close. But I went short 1830.
Yeah, that's the zone, bro.
Yeah,
That's still the same level from yesterday. Oh, didn't I say it was going to come up and hit 1838 before it came back down?
it did. Yeah,
It
yeah, you did
came
it.
like it came probably 8 pips away. But yeah, the fact that it came up and grabbed liquidity at 1838 and then broke back under 32 and now is retesting, I think that's a pretty good zone.
I'm waiting. Let's see. Just hold it.
Same. Dude, for Nasdaq, like you see it's 943 right now. So I would have already taken a trade at this point. But nowadays, I literally don't touch the markets until at least after 10 a.m. So 10:15 to 10:30, that's when I've really been looking for moves on Nasdaq.
Yeah, I think you should wait. That trade right there where you have that line up there is it looks pretty good, bro. That joint gonna drop. I kind of
Yep.
see it, bro.
Yep. And honestly, it should be, if I was a little bit more honest, I would draw my zone like this. It would be like this, where the previous support, structural support, became resistance. So basically, if the candlestick body closes below this resistance, then it's good for shorts. That makes my life a lot easier. If it closes below 830, boom.
Starting to see a wick.
Yeah. What I'm going to do is start scaling in. So it would look like this.
I think
130 points is kind of fat, but I really don't even expect it to get here. I just want to give it enough room in case it wants to play around here.
go playing around with me. I'm about to close with shorts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bro, this is why I'm trying to have this patience right now. Because after I saw these big drops before the market opened, I'm like, okay, they're gonna try to they're trying some shit today. They're not
Mm.
even trying some shit. They're going to succeed at doing some shit today.
Yeah, they want to do something. Like a lot of people is getting wrecked. Like on that move, whatever market they trading or whatever instrument, you name it, NAS, US 30, gold, Bitcoin dropped crazy. All of these things moved, and a lot of people got wrecked. I believe so. So, you know.
This was honestly really fun. So like this was supposed to be an area where a lot of retail got wrecked, but that's why I just love sticking to the boundaries. If you stick to the outside, right, the floor is lava. Who's ever played that game?
Mhm.
And so as soon as it gets to these high reaction zones, I can just trade. I did lose money here. I got stopped out like crazy, but at least I got a re-entry at the 61. So it's like it's the same thing as just keep trading inside the range, and if it breaks out, wait for a break and retest, fib that baby, catch the push back up. So that's what I'm waiting for here. Even if I miss this initial drop, we can still catch another retest. But that's why I need the body to close below. You see this, Stefano? Either do
Got an entry right there too. I got a runner right there.
Short back down or long back up if it holds. Or if we break out and form resistance again.
No, but I'm about to be in profit again, baby. I'm about to be in profit again. Stop playing with that trader.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Oh man.
This market, man, this market, they kind of test my gas tank though.
Yeah. I like the big picture on this. The big picture is it's very clear. I know I love going into the smaller time frame and playing these strategies, but when you look at the big picture,
Sure.
I'm gonna have to clean it up just to see this. But the big picture is clear as day. I understand how aggressive the momentum is, but did the body close above the zone?
Did it?
A little bit.
A little bit.
But I've seen this before. This is like a trap for breakout traders where everyone thinks it's going to go like this.
Yeah.
But it starts to go back under. It went all the way back under. So this to me is not a clear breakout because we ended up closing back below.
I feel like they playing that game, you know, also with indices. It's a bull trap, you know what I'm saying? Like markets was moving up, you know, enticing all these buyers. And, you know, at the end of the week, it's just going to end up dropping.
100%. 100%. That's what I was saying, like these different phases, is this was the accumulation. And then they took all the money that they made from trapping retail to push the market up to the 78. And then from the 78, they liquidated it down to the 61. And so from here, it's like, if we can't break above this, it's just going to invite more sellers. The way that equity markets work, and I think it's the same with gold, it's that the hedge funds that trade this, it's all algo. And the way that the algos are, it's percentage based. So if the market drops more than X%, then the algo becomes a net seller. And so the more that something drops, the more aggressive it's going to drop. And that's kind of what it's kind of how I'm looking at these markets. It's because of how aggressive it dropped before the market opened. I'm expecting a lot of folks to just become net sellers for the session and see if we can get to continue that momentum. I still got like 20 minutes, 30 minutes to take a trade though. Professor O himself, Mr. Omar Kambal, sent us a chart for AUD USD. Seeing this nice inverted head and shoulders, there's a neckline right here. The neckline just got violated. It got retested as support once, and then we made new highs, and then price came down and wicked, retested that support again. So we look left, previous area of support, massive. This is on the 3-hour time frame, so probably 3 or 4 days here of support before we pushed up. Support here became resistance, 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 which is the neckline of the head and shoulders, and then a break above and retest. So as long as this 3-hour candlestick closes above the 0.718 level, above this gray zone, then this thing is due for a push to the upside. How to find the target? You would measure from top down for a fib, and then you would just play those targets, TP1, TP2, TP3. It's a really good trade. Let me take a look at the dollar though. Sheesh. I think the dollar is going to drop. We've already been letting a lot of air out of this machine. Now we're retesting this zone. I think we can still see further downside, which would push AUD USD to the upside. So that's pretty valid.
Yeah, them wicks is whispering to me. That's all I know.
AUD USD is definitely valid. BTC shorts, I took my profits on this. I was going to scalp it. Or sorry, I was going to swing trade it, but I ended up just scalping it. I might regret that decision. Let's be honest. 44,628. You guys can quote me on this. 44,628 down to 30,300. I was kind of expecting this, but I got
You-
out too soon.
I got in at 45. 44,750 actually.
Guys, I don't care what I'm trading. I know Stefano has a better entry than me. I'm out here buying a used car. I check my phone. Stefano's like, yo, I got it for $2,000 cheaper. Like, yo, how the fuck did you do that?
Dude, it's just like big markets, they show you it, you know what I'm saying? It was Bitcoin was showing its hands this morning, so I've
Dude,
been trying to short Bitcoin and stuff, you know.
it is, but the momentum is still pretty aggressive. And I personally just don't like betting against Bitcoin. Like, I didn't even feel comfortable being in the short,
That's
knowing
true.
how bullish I am on Bitcoin. Like, I'm more bullish on Bitcoin than any other financial instrument. And it's just me personally on my personal opinion. I'm more bullish on BTC than any other financial instrument that exists today.
That's all true. That's all. That's you know, it's one of those things. Bit like if you look at every single article that there is out there, Bitcoin is in baby phases right now. Still, you know what I'm saying? Like even though it's like what 45K, 40 something K, still in baby phases. Like this thing is gonna go
For
massive.
sure.
You know.
For sure. I mean, I look at things in a big picture. Like when I look at projects, I look at community. But when I look at Bitcoin, I just look at institutional adoption. It's how many institutions are waiting on the sidelines. So a lot of folks, they reference statistics like um, there's a lot of volume on the exchanges. Look at how many people are doing this and that. What I really look for is holders. How many people are still holding on outside of exchanges, and how many institutions haven't got in yet that want to get in. So when you look at, okay, who wants to get into Shiba? It's like lower level hedge funds and like just people who trade speculative instruments. Who wants to get into Bitcoin? You're talking about central banks. You're talking about treasuries. You're talking about sovereign wealth funds, right? Those are all multi-trillion-dollar institutions that have enough money to throw around that they won't notice. Like they could throw 10 to 20 billion at Bitcoin and not notice that it was gone. That's different than a hedge fund that's worth 20 billion trying to, like, you know what I'm saying, trying to put on a $400 million trade on Bitcoin. So the big institutions want to get in. It's a big deal. And that's what I'm waiting for. I'm holding Bitcoin because I'm expecting those larger scale institutions to get in at some point.
Do you feel like when it comes to crypto, would be something like any other instrument, like not instrument, I would say another project that would
Whoa, my bad. Sorry, real quick. I am bullish on US 30. It's the same trend line all week. We just had a massive retest at the market open. I think we can push back up to this level before we short. 36,000 flat. Just a heads up for the US 30 traders. Sorry, Stefano. Didn't mean to cut you off.
That's fine. No, I was just asking if you think like maybe other coin like Solana or Ripple or Ethereum will actually over perform outperform Bitcoin at some point.
From a return basis, like a percentage return, almost everything is going to outperform Bitcoin. But with higher returns comes higher risk. So if you buy like an NFT, for example, today, and you could probably sell it on mint or on listing day for 3 to 5 times what it's worth. That's a 500% return. For Bitcoin to go 500%, it's going to have to be at 250K per coin, which is a long time from now. And so from a percentage return basis, everything is better to own than Bitcoin to make returns. In terms of like, is Ethereum's market cap going to be bigger than Bitcoin one day? That's a big theory. It's called the big flippening. The flippening of whether Ethereum is going to become the market dominant currency as opposed to Bitcoin. It's a big question, bro. I don't know. My whole thesis, and I wrote about this back in 2020, is that Bitcoin is digital gold and Ethereum was silver. And so silver has a huge market cap, but it's not as big as gold's market cap on a global basis because gold doesn't move around as much. And because it's harder to get, harder to move, it doesn't get used for much. The value is just higher because of scarcity. And so I think that Bitcoin will have a higher value because of the scarcity aspect of it. I think it'll have a bigger market cap because of the scarcity. But I think that Ethereum and Solana and these other chains, and maybe the next Solana doesn't even exist yet, but I think those other chains are going to be a lot more popular. That's where the entire ecosystem is going to be built on, and they're going to have more industrial use cases for sure, or technical use cases.
Can you go to 15 minutes on this NAS trade?
Yeah, I just scaled in my first position.
Yeah, that's a 61.8. If you fit that move, that 15-minute move to from top to bottom, that's 61.8.
Yep.
That
So
move.
I actually just scaled in my first position, and I'm gonna put my SL just above the 15K.
That's a nice trade. Nice trade. I like that. Good entry. It's just waiting, bro. It's patience is key, you know what I mean? And if that's not it, then it could go up to maybe four. You called it right, 14.9. I think I
Like
see
you see this left
14.9.
shoulder here? It would be this. It would be 14,980. Either way, this is the reason I'm scaling in. So I told you it's still 10 a.m. I don't really like to take trades until 10:15, 10:20, because that's when they've really shaken out most of the market open traders. But scaling in gives me a good chance, bro. Like Stefano, bro, I've been holding all my drawdowns. I've been good about it because the scaling in is so much better than putting the whole percentage or the whole risk percentage at one time.
So you split your positions in percentages, or like how do you split your positions?
I go bigger as I'm in drawdown. So I actually like, let's say that I wanted to throw 1.0 on this. What I would do is I would only throw 0.1 here. And then
Okay.
if it goes up to the next level, I would throw 0.3. And if it
Uh,
gets up just a little bit higher, then I would throw 0.6.
gotcha. All
Because what
right.
happens is even if I'm wrong on the trade, this 0.6 that's sitting here, when it wicks down just a little bit, I can close these other two in loss, take my profit on the top one, and still make money.
I see.
You see what I'm saying?
Right. And sometimes I only just take my one position, but I feel like that's gonna help me a lot though doing that. I mean, I do the same thing too, but I'm not used to it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like when it comes to my edge, it's just like enter. I feel like I'm entering too many positions. You know, but
100%. My thing about it is that you can enter one position here. Let's say you put the entire 1.0 and then hold the drawdown. And so this is a personality thing. My personality is when I'm in drawdown, I'm not, I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? I don't
okay.
make good decisions. And it's not that I can't make good decisions, is that the risk of me making a bad decision is higher. So what I try to do is I try to hedge myself out. By splitting up the 1.0, I'm still taking the same amount of risk that I would have if I put the whole position. But on my psychology, each individual trade, the first one that I entered down here is not in that much drawdown. So by the time it's up here, these two are like barely in any drawdown. This one is like barely in drawdown. And so I don't have any tendency to like, or I don't have any inclination to close the trade or to like get out of the position. I just hold it. So let me see this YouTube chat real quick. Bitcoin will fall to 20K. Henry, don't don't say things that confidently, man. If you really believe that Bitcoin is going to fall to 20K, sell your house, short Bitcoin on FX, and then take that money and then buy the dip at 20K. Biden talked about regulations coming soon for crypto, something like that. Guys, I I don't I don't care what regulations come out for crypto. Crypto don't run on regulation. It's like trying to regulate the internet. Like it works if you're naive, right? If you're like, oh, the internet's a safe place. Like, sure. I think most of us are not that naive. I think most of us understand that the internet has some pretty dark places and there's also some pretty protected places. But trying to censor the internet only works in certain places. So yeah, if the government tries to put regulation, like what kind of regulation could the government put on Bitcoin or put on crypto in general to stop people using it, spending it, charging it, et cetera, et cetera? They can heavily regulate the NFT space. They can heavily regulate the decentralized autonomous organizations, but they definitely cannot like ban cryptos. What if your first 0.1 goes into profit right away? Do you wait to retrace and go with the other 0.9? If I'm already in profit, so let's say I took this trade and it just starts running past, then I don't try to re-enter at the same place. What I do is I try to wait for another break of structure. And then if I get a retracement here, then I can enter another position. The only reason I start to scale in is because I enter early because if the market just starts leaving without me, I don't want to miss the trade. So usually I'll just let the 0.1 go and I'll look for a retest at the next area of structure. Can you re-enter here if it comes back and grabs? Sure. If the trade is still valid, as long as the reason for the trade is still valid, you can still take the same trade idea over and over with proper risk. Sorry, let me put that last bit in there. Don't sit there and keep taking the same trade over and over if it's losing and you have improper risk. But if the market, like let's say the market was or breaks below here and we short because the market broke below, we retested and we created a double top. So the reason that I would short here is because the market broke below and because we created a new resistance. As long as that reason is valid, I can keep retaking that short. So if I took this short position, price comes down and it comes up and starts rejecting again, and we're still creating resistance, I can take a short again because the reason for my trade is still valid. Now, if I start going into drawdown, I don't know if I want to keep stacking positions for this move down here because the reason I'm entering this trade is no longer valid because we're breaking. Does that make sense? What are your thoughts on Peter Schiff? Oh, the same as all these other people in Congress, man. The same as all these other people in government. I'm not even going to say it. I'm not trying to get myself in trouble here. Basically, people who work in government are useless. Okay? People like us, we need regulation and we need it to be clear so that we know the rule book. What the people in Congress like to do is leave shit open-ended and then come in after and try to penalize you for it. So let's take like cryptos, for example, and NFTs. Let's say we launch an NFT. Instead of them providing us a clear guideline on the laws around NFTs, there are no clear guidelines. So we're just like launching NFTs and buying NFTs and selling and trading. And then one day they're like, oh, you guys are going to get taxed, by the way. Or even worse, they don't do anything at all. They just argue with each other and then don't get anything done. So in my honest opinion, yeah, I don't have much of an opinion, but those people kind of useless up there. I'm gonna give this thing another 15, 20 minutes, see what moves come out. Gold looks like it wants to break up, but with gold, you can never be too sure.
Yeah, I'm out on my trades. 10 in the morning, bro. I'm out.
Yeah, bro, this US 30 looking long. This thing is looking like it wants to go long.
GJ went long too. GJ loans were crazy.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
It's coming up on that daily sell level, though. Let's see how it reacts around 158. I still believe there's going to be a short at 158. I'm just not sure if the market is ready. EU trade hit TP. This was that 75 pip trade we were talking about. Took long enough. The market kind of looks like it's going to be stuck in these ranges for today. Like, I don't know if GJ is going to break out of here. We'll see. Euro USD, I think it's just going to keep playing around this range. And NASDAQ still sitting in this baby. Let's play a game. Let me know in the chats, people. long or shorts based on NASDAQ. Let me know, long or shorts based on what you guys see on this. I'm actually very curious to see a lot of what you guys are thinking. Does this look like a long or does this look like a short to you? If you want to include an explanation too, that's awesome. If not, you don't have to, but let me know what you guys think. Tuna says check GU. Yeah, I'm kind of nice. I'm kind of nice with this. So here's what I see on GU. Short-term push up, longer-term push down. All right. Fair enough. Now I'm looking at some of these comments. So Marco says he's looking at longs. Alex says he sees longs on NAS. Carlos says NAS shorts. I say shorts is going back to the supply zone to fill up all that space from the massive candle before it moves down. Bottom of the fib to the high EMA is basically 61 in EMA and bounced. Looking for possible short around 15K. I see longs. I'm holding my buy on NAS, long. And Omar actually sent a markup. So Omar is bullish on this, but it's a long ways away. It's about 50 pips away from that original entry. So if it comes back to that original entry or retests another one of these key levels on the way up, we could take a trade. But for me, I still see lower highs and lower lows. So I don't know. I'm kind of conflicted on this. I see the higher floor, but I also see lower high, lower high, lower lows, lower high. As long as we don't break above this 1.363, I think we can come back down. But for now, it's definitely bullish because the dollar's coming down. All right, we're rejecting the 78%. So I'm going to enter another short position on NASDAQ to further scale into this trade. All right, this is the moment of truth. Because when I'm looking at this consolidation here, this was the pre-session consolidation. Here's the highs and here's the lows. Testing it from the outside is a really good sign. I'm trying to find a good example of what this looks like. Over here is a pretty good example. You guys see the consolidation here? Then the market breaks out to the downside, comes back to retest the high of the consolidation before it makes the massive drop. Let's see if I can find another. So the 4 hour is the most obvious just in terms of holding versus closing versus making a bigger time frame decision. This is the previous bearish candlestick. If we engulf this previous candlestick and this 4 hour candle closes above, then this is bullish. If the candles, if this candle starts to wick down and it can't seem to close above the previous candle, especially if we close below this resistance level, then we have a pretty good chance of liquidating and pushing back to the downside. So for now, still holding, still only 10-15. And yeah. The second position I took is already in profit. Oh, the second position I took is way in profit.
Yo, I joined those NFT communities on Discord, and bro, they keep on messaging me from like left and right. But what the fuck is that, bro?
Bro, you need to turn off your DMs and your notifications.
These people trying to scam me, bro. I'm not falling into any of all those shit, bro.
Yeah, go to notification settings. And then say, where is it?
It's privacy settings, Roy.
Is it privacy? Oh, here it is. Oh yeah, allow direct messages from server members. So it's like if you're in those chats, go to the specific one. So let's say it's the full send one.
Okay.
Go here, go to privacy settings, and you have to turn it off.
Okay.
Because this is actually how I got scammed on the Nelk Boys one, is they sent me a message and it had the same exact logo right here. So I just clicked it. I saw the same kind of like messaging thing right here, and I was kind of late to the mint. So I just clicked on the link and didn't even think about it. And it was, I lost some money on that. So when you turn off your notification or turn off the DMs, it's really crucial.
Got it. Thanks.
For sure. Ooh, I'm in big profit on that second position.
You and I both, brother.
There we go. And this is why I go heavier on the second position. Because the first trade I took down here, I'm negative 330. On this one right here, I'm positive $880. So I could literally just close both positions and still make money now, even though the move hasn't even played out. But I trust the higher time frame. I'm going to give this thing a chance to wick down. If I win, I win. I lose, I lose.
You will win.
What is this? Uchef?
Yeah.
Yeah, this looks exactly like what happened with the dollar. There was that consolidation, huge wick to the upside to grab liquidity. And then I think we have a drop. Looks good to me. But at the end of the day, man, these currencies, man. He said that scaling in is clutch AF. Yeah. Because a lot of people is like, if the market starts going your way, let's say that we took this trade and the market's going my way, what they'll do is they'll start to load heavier positions because they think the market's finally going their direction. What happens is if you get caught in drawdown, if it starts to retrace, all of a sudden your heaviest positions are here and this thing is retracing on you. And these positions aren't cutting, they're not making up for the loss. And so it just ends up becoming like a bad situation. So if you guys are ever scaling into positions, always put your highest entries or always put your biggest entries at the best price. I got to show my video for this. I said I wasn't going to trade today. See if I can get this right. That's kind of hard to show.
Oh man, thank you very much, bro. Bro, like we're making money, bro. I'm telling you, if no one is making money out here, I don't know what the fuck they doing. The Go himself, thank you very much, brother. I just got it. I'm in another NAS trade. I close all my positions and then NAS, boom, blues. Let's get it, bro.
That's what I love to hear, brother.
Fucking get it.
I'm going to get a call from my broker today. He said, look, Roy, I'm sorry that we've been dicking you around a lot. Please stop taking our money. Said, I know that we tried to do you dirty yesterday and wicked you out of that trade, but please stop giving out free sauce on YouTube.
And that's the thing. It's not only you. It's the people that's taking the trades. They're also going to be like,
bro, I know this. What's crazy is like since we're running ChartAddicts, you see traders that come in with capital that's like some of our traders are trading with massive capital, so they'll make more money than I am. So I'm like, bro, I know your broker hates me. I know your broker hates you. if I'm playing in like small fish lane and I see somebody posting like, let's say a $40,000 profit or a $50,000 profit, I'm like, yeah, bro, your broker is paying you out right now. If a broker has to pay out $100,000 check, they're feeling that. So it's always nice to see. I have no sympathy for the brokers at all. Let's be completely real. My allegiance is to the traders. Yeah, if this trade hits, I'm grabbing a flight. I'm grabbing a flight today. If this thing actually milks, you guys are going to see me on a plane in about 6 hours.
where to, brother? It's cold in Miami too.
I don't know,
Mexico.
man. I don't know. Yeah, Mexico sounds good. I honestly just need to get out of this cold weather, because the cold weather does something to you, man. The cold weather just kind of like puts you in this like, I don't know, you're just not as motivated. When I'm in the warm weather, I feel like doing something all the time. I always want to be outside, always want to get to the next thing. So I'm trying to go somewhere like that. I'm trying to go
I don't know
somewhere.
how you guys do it, bro. Like dealing with that snow and the cold. Oh man, horrible, bro. I hate that shit.
Brother, I'm Lebanese, right? We don't have winter over there. Like I'm not used to this shit either. I don't know how I'm dealing with it. You know?
Crazy, bro.
So, but why do the brokers get mad? Because they're trading against you. They're gonna have to pay you out based on money that they gain from other people losing, and they just hate paying people out. And sometimes the broker just doesn't have enough money. Like if one of you guys makes $1 million today, there's a big chance your broker won't be able to afford paying you out, which is a huge deal. Roy, do you live stream every day? Nope. I live stream a couple times a week for the ChartAddicts team, the private team, because that is what I love doing. First time hopping on your stream, won't be my last time. Pedro, great to see you on here. Welcome to the streams. Is that an evening star formation on US 30 and the 30-minute time frame? Could be. If you guys made profits, whoa. Oh, that's the DXY. Okay. I was like, what just happened with US 30? If you guys made any profits on the NASDAQ trade today, can you guys let me know in the chat box? If you guys made money on the YouTube, let me know in the YouTube comments. Let me know who made money today. Who made money? Who made money? Who made money? Nicholas says the first time for me, just signed up this week with ChartAddicts. Nicholas, it's great to see you too. Great to have you on board, brother. Nicholas Baroud says it's the first time we feel cold here in Lebanon. Bro, it's weird everywhere. I don't know if you know a lot about Texas, but it doesn't snow that much in Texas. And right now it's snowing in Texas. It was snowing in Hawaii a couple months ago. So the world is acting a little bit, the weather is a little bit strange. When they say global warming, they might have a point. Something might be happening because it's not supposed to be snowing in Texas. It definitely ain't supposed to be 10 degrees in Texas. It ain't supposed to be cold in Lebanon, and it ain't supposed to be snowing in Hawaii. All right. It's a little strange. So he says that a shooting star on the 30-minute time frame. Let's go ahead and get in here. Did you say shooting star? Or was there something else? Oh, evening star. My bad. Honestly, it depends on how this closes. We still have 5 minutes until the closure. If the candlestick closes like this, it'll most likely fill up one more time before it drops. If it closes below with a wick, that's probably the best case scenario. But I'm starting to starting to lose hope that this thing is going to flip. So most likely, this thing closes as is. It might come up, grab all the liquidity, and then come back down. So we'll just have to wait 5-6 minutes until this candlestick closes. This is about the time where I start taking trades for my pairs. And usually I'm trading NASDAQ. So at this point, at this point, I see the rejection. I would have just taken shorts. Just off of first glance, if I got on the charts, I saw that the market was still bearish. We had this massive drop during the beginning of the day, and the market was still respecting not just the previous consolidation lows, but also these Fibonacci's that we drew from the longer term impulse. If I see all of those different confirmations, I'm looking to short this thing. But I'm already in the short. I have 2 positions. I have one here, and I have one here. And so at this point, I'm really just holding, hanging out with you guys. So we're hanging out. It's fun. You know what I'm saying? It's a New York session hangout with ChartAddicts. Mike Wiltsey says global colding. All right. I know that's fucked up. I don't want to laugh at that. I'm going to put 2 red lines where my entries are, just so I can keep track of this kind of more visually.
Bro, that's crazy. Is that a den though? Like putting red, like I do the same thing.
What?
Doing those red lines on my charts so that way I know where my entries are exactly on Metaphor.
Yeah, I mean, because I don't, I'm not using MetaTrader to look at my trades. I'm using TradingView. So I kind of want to know where my entries are,
Right.
And it's a really good visual to help you learn too. Like if I see that this first entry is in profit, and here's where it's at. Now I know that the next time I take a trade, if I'm scaling in, if I put the larger entries at the top, even if I just catch this little wick right here, I can make money. And so it's just like it's a visual tool to help me if I switch to different pairs and I come back. I know, oh damn, price is still sitting at my entry. I'm going to put the second one. Is at 921. Wait. This price is a little bit different. This price is a little bit lower than it is on mine. So about 10 pips off. So 20 would be 30. A little bit of drawdown on the second one. Okay. Those were my 2 entry spots. So just so you guys know, I'm in profit. I have my larger position up here. I have my smaller position down here. I'm currently in overall profit. If I closed both, I would walk away blue. So I think I'm actually going to walk away blue on one of my accounts and hold it on my other account. I'm going to close on my smaller account and I'm going to hold it on my larger account. And if the market closes below this red line, I'm in profit on both. I'll wait for one push outside the zone, and then I'll just close this trade completely and hold the higher entry. How many times will I scale in max? It's until I hit my maximum risk per trade, which for me is around 1% risk on my large account and about 4% risk on my small account. So right now I'm running about 0.5% risk on my large account. I think I put somewhere between like a 0.2% risk here. Actually, this is probably like 0.1%. Then probably 0.4%. Because the lot size I used up here, I'm using a 0.4, and down here I'm using a 0.1. So this is how it is. So I really only have 0.5% running. And then what I want to do is, if the market comes up here and I want to take that last trade, I still have a 0.6 I can throw. Right now, that 0.6 number is not accurate. If I do the math, it's probably going to be a little bit lower, but that's just the overall idea. I have 10% of my trade here, 40% here, and I still have about 60% left to throw anywhere in this area. And I would save it for this right here. Most of the time, though, I only scale in twice, because after 2 entries, if this thing just keeps pushing up, I'm like, dude, what? You know, how much longer is this thing going to keep pushing? At that point, I'm ignoring the momentum. I said, appreciate you, brother. You really simplify the charts. That's my job, man. That's my job. Brokers are not trading against retail. They're just the middleman for liquidity providers. If they are not B-book. Okay, well, find me an A-book broker then, pendejo. Oh, whoa. Shit. Excuse my language. God, his name on YouTube is that. Okay? His name on YouTube is that. But I'm going to kick you off the stream for that. So what happens if they can't pay you out? You have to sue the broker. Right? And then you're going to realize that they're not even regulated, so they can't get sued. And now you're with the lawsuit and the FTC and da 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 da. If the broker doesn't pay you, it's a big problem. I'm in AU longs. I came in a little bit too late for NAS. That's what's up. That's what's up. He said that's why the regulations are there. 90% of the brokers that people are using on this stream are unregulated brokerages. There are no regulations.
Yeah, they can do anything with their money, really. So what I try doing is just like, as soon as you make profits, just withdraw, you know?
Mm-hmm. Don't keep your money hanging out with your broker. I know some people, they love this. Like somebody sold them the idea of compounding forever. If I compound 1% a day for 30 days, I become a trillionaire. All right, bro, take the fucking money or your broker's not going to pay you.
Yep.
My first big withdrawal, I remember it was with Hugo's. I didn't sleep for days. I didn't know if the money was going to show up. They said the transfer was on the way. I was like, bro, y'all saying it's on the way, but like, I hope you're telling the truth here.
Bro, Nash and Eagle, they're so quick at it. You know, I love that about them. The withdrawal process is so quick. It's like literally sometimes it's just 30 minutes.
For sure. Omar, you called AUD USD, right? That was
Yeah, I called it GU signal. That joint is milking right now, but AU is definitely moving.
pumping off that. You had the inverted head and shoulders right here,
Yeah.
off the neckline. That joint pumped.
Hey, UChef next. USD Swiss in 30 minutes.
ChartAddicts members, y'all heard it.
Let's go.
The
dollar's dropping hard. People are dumping the dollar for other assets. So when you look at, I always say FTM, hashtag FTM, follow the money. The dollar is dropping, which means people are dumping their dollars. I don't give a fuck about my dollars. Take them. And what are they doing with those dollars is they're buying other assets. So you can see NAS is pumping, Bitcoin is pumping, gold is pumping. And so all of these pairs are pumping and the dollar is dropping because the money is going somewhere. Everyone's getting out of the dollar because of inflation and they're getting into inflation hedge assets. Now, NASDAQ is not really an inflation hedge asset, but Bitcoin is. So at the end of the day, I still expect NASDAQ bearish. I still expect Bitcoin and gold bullish. Strictly based off of the dynamic that I'm seeing right now.
You said it could flip in 2 minutes. I'm so lucky I just closed my position.
That's these markets, man.
Crazy.
I want to walk you guys through a piece of maturity and growth for me. Is I would have entered yet another position here before, just to up my stakes. Because I'm not a very conservative trader. Okay, and so I used to enter that third position just to up my stakes. Nowadays, I'm comfortable holding my positions, even though I'm not holding a full 1%. I'm comfortable knowing that even if this trade plays out with 0.5% risk, I'm still happy with my results. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is growth. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is maturity. Damn, so they really don't want you to win? The broker is 50-50. They actually don't care if you win or lose because they make money regardless. But that's the messed up part, is that the person who's in the middle of your trade should be looking out for you. They should be providing a service to the retail trader, giving you good spreads and good quotes. The reason I say brokers don't care about you is because they will make money off the spread. So if the market's going crazy, if the market's going whichever direction, they can still up your spread and make money on the volatility. So they don't care about you winning. And they also sell your order flow information to the market makers. So the market makers are the ones who are actually trading against you, but they don't have access to your information. They get it through the brokers. So it's a big game of the brokers selling order flow to market makers and the LPs and the market makers trading against retail using high frequency trading. The market makers definitely don't want you to win. They want you to play the game though. So they'll literally take money, and then let you win every once in a while so that you stick around and keep trading. Because if you lose all the time, you just quit. There's no more money in the markets. So they play a messed up game. Manipulating prices during times of high volatility, that's like criminal almost. And I used to think it was just the way things are until I had that conversation with the founder of Oanda. And he said, no, market makers choose to do that shit. The broker can have accurate pricing. They don't have to have like these crazy spreads that they have. Yeah, these trades are not looking good. How aggressively the dollar is pushing down, it's affecting all the other pairs. But gold just hit the 78.6, Stefano.
It looks pretty enticing. I want to wait till the next London session now. For now, I was just in that straight and they stopped me out break even. So I'm out for the day.
Okay. Bro, it's at the -23 extension. I'm taking this short.
Really good.
Just one short.
It's 1837. Yeah.
Yep. And just do a reasonable size position. Nothing too crazy. There we go. I'm going to set my TP at 1832. I think maybe this was the move at 1838. And now that we've filled, it could go up. Either way, I'm trading this higher time frame. I'm seeing if we get that rejection off the 78. We'll see how that plays out. Sheesh. All right, well, I'm going to be holding. I'm still going to be holding these trades. I still have my two positions as these red lines. I'll keep you guys updated on how this plays out. You guys know after all the streams, if you guys are a ChartAddicts member, I'm always posting updates on these trades in my personal channel under the Roy channel. I'll also send it in the general setups. And if it's really urgent, I'll send it in the VIP main chat. All right. Omar, great call on this this cat chef. This thing is pumping. And GU is in profits. This was from 2 days ago. Good call. But structure don't lie, man. Structure don't lie. It might take a while. It might take forever. It might test your patience, but that structure is the truth. Holy.
Hey, we just getting warmed up.
Sir. I'm holding this, bro. I'm gonna post the markup later after this thing plays out, but I'm holding this.
Some Michael Burry shit.
You feel me? I've seen the numbers. I've seen the numbers. They're raising rates 4 times. There's another scenario I've been entertaining, which is if you guys are trading NAS, it's this daily bullish trend line getting retested, which lines up with the 78 or the 88.6. So I was really thinking like we get like a hope bounce. We either end up right here for this head and shoulders, or it comes up a little bit higher to retest the trend line before we make a big drop. So that's a bullish case scenario. But for now, I just don't see any reason why the markets will be bullish. And that's really why I'm not looking to buy. I understand that technically speaking, like, yes, we're forming higher lows, but when it comes to the fundamentals, it's a seller's market for sure. All right, y'all, I really got to go. I got to get ready and get about my day. If NAS were to continue bullish, where's the next level? 15K for sure. I mean, we're already at the 15K. I would say 1550, 15150. So if you look left, it's right there. So previous area of resistance right here became support, became resistance, became resistance. It would be this 15,150 level. Then after that, you would go to 15,300. This is not looking good. But this is what patience is for. All right, ladies and gents, Happy and safe trading today. Happy and safe trading today.
Oh man, I appreciate the sauce as always.
For sure, my guy. Appreciate you pulling up, dropping some heat. AU, GU, and profits. Let's see if around 2 or 3 p.m. EST, the bears come in again and push the market down. That's usually what I do, is if I don't catch my move between 10 to 11:30, I'll just come back later in the session around like 2 hours before the close and look for that push the other way. You don't think NAS would push up with the DXY dropping? Equities and currencies aren't correlated that closely. They're correlated in the big picture, but day to day, they really don't have much to do with each other, except for the fact that people have to dump dollars to buy NASDAQ. And so that's the only correlation that I can see. But that's more of like a causation. The dollars are dropping, or sorry, people want to buy NASDAQ, so they sell dollars. Versus a correlation like when people sell dollars, they also buy NAS. That's what a correlation is. So they have a causal relationship, not a correlation. It says study inner circle trader on YouTube. I'd rather eat glass, but thanks for the suggestion. Bro, who the fuck they think I am? He said, you mean the guy that pretended to get abducted by market makers? That guy? He said they abducted me. They abducted me and implanted me all the signals in my mind. Okay, man.